They're great things, these. Recorded for posterity. Jump in here. Righty ho. So, manoeuvres, particularly reversing in bay parking. And tell me where you're at with that then. So have you got a method that works some of the time?
Sort of.
Okay. Tell you what then, should we just go and have a look and see what we've got? I'll let you take us to where we're going to do that.
Ken Bruce? Oh, no, it's not Ken Bruce today.
Is it time for Hot Master?
No, not yet.
15 minutes. Do you want to work on anything in particular on the way there, or do you just want to drive there and have a look at the manoeuvres?
Well, I guess just a bit of feedback on how you think my general driving is. Are we going this way?
I'll let you take us to wherever you want.
I don't know the area.
Righty ho, in that case, follow the road ahead, unless directed otherwise by traffic signs, or unless I ask you to turn, which I'll do in good time. So have you got a plan for the next piece of road? What are you going to do? What's ahead of you?
Here?
Yeah.
Traffic lights.
Okay.
There's a car driving.
What colour are they going to be when we get there?
Green, I would imagine.
Did we get lucky there, or did we plan that?
I think we got lucky.
Right at the lights. So that's what I mean by a plan. So as you take the new view into the new road, what's our plan here?
There's another set of traffic lights.
So ease off the gas. Take a look here. Trundle up. We're not holding anybody up. You might get the chance to keep the thing going. What you're demonstrating is planning. Of course, from this seat you can always tell. So we don't want anything to happen to us. We want to be in control of our own destiny. It sounds like a line from Star Wars, doesn't it? So we're about to go down a new road. So at the earliest opportunity, get your eyes as far down that road as you can and put a plan together. Your plan needs to be based on what you can see, what you can't see, people coming out of driveways, people hidden behind cars, and what you might reasonably expect.
Okay.
Which could be, if it's before 9 in the morning, it might be school kids. It's after 3, that sort of stuff. Might be reasonably expect she's going to stay, that sort of stuff. So straight down the new road as far as you can. What do you see?
A sharp bend.
Yep. And before that,
parked cars on the right.
so what might we expect here?
That vehicle might not give way to us, although by rights it should.
Should, yeah.
Pedestrian on the left. Just ease off the gas a little bit.
So we're constantly, so he's braked, why has he done that?
For the bend.
Possibly. Or there might be something around there. A great what-if games to play, because you can use this when you become an instructor. So what would you expect here from these two guys?
This vehicle might pull out, the guys might step out into the road.
So would it be reasonable to expect a taxi to pull out in front of you?
Reasonable?
I'm not saying this is behaviour reasonable, I'm saying is it reasonable to expect that?
Yeah.
Tell me about the silver car.
This little girl's going to pull out, I think that's done.
What about the blue
one? The one after him is also pulling out. Green one I'm really hoping does not.
We've got left at the end of the road. So again, plan for here.
And there is off the gas.
So there's never a moment in your journey that you haven't accounted for. There's not an action or an inaction from other road users that you haven't got as part of your plan. Tell me about your position here.
I would have liked to have been a bit more into the...
What could you have done to help me with that?
Turn the wheel a bit more.
Anything else?
I was travelling slowly.
Okay.
Maybe travel a bit slower.
Okay.
Right up to it, so we were on a downhill.
Just a food for thought next time we come on. We want him sat, comfortable. Now then, something made you uneasy there. What was it?
The big divot in the road.
Anything else?
Well, there was a car on the left and it did kind of lurch a little bit.
Did. So you're right to be
couple of are they driveways? Yeah, driveways. So people might emerge from those. People might turn into those as a parked vehicle.
Did you see that coming?
Man's just decided to come round. I actually thought he was going to wait. Looked like he was going to wait, and then just changed his mind.
What could you have done to discourage that from happening?
I guess I could have positioned myself slightly differently.
Proactive, defensive. I don't think so. But always be ready for it to happen.
Yeah.
So that you're not arriving at the same time that he does that, because what we get then is a
Swerve and
it says from
yeah,
here,
yeah.
you didn't see that. You probably did. But it doesn't look like you did. So nothing left a chance. Does that make sense? What might we expect here? The brake lights are on.
Somebody stepping out.
Possibly. Maybe pulling away. Next one to the left, please.
Tribute on Saturday night. I had a rare night off, so
I'll give you Eddie Cochran, but we'll have Rod Stewart.
I was brought up on Rod Stewart. I've seen him a couple of times. I want to see him again.
I like Rod Stewart, if I'm honest. He's one of the best city rollers.
City rollers, man.
So you popped into it early. Tell me about that.
Well, it was nice and clear, and that slip road actually looks a little bit short.
So would you have gained anything from using all of the slip road?
I might have been a bit straighter.
To the next exit from this road. Well, if you've got the slip road and you've got the opportunity to use it, use it. Because just in case your observation hasn't been 100%, you've got a little bit of it. There's no harm in using the full length, is there? Just gives you more options. Right at the end of the road. Just remember the setup as we came there now. We'll have a chat about that in a bit. Remember what was there when we got there. When Elliot went, we knew we'll have a little chat about it. So you've got all your window polishing stuff in the car because they're obsessed with clean windows. Absolutely
Well, I did
obsessed.
the inside of this yesterday.
Yeah, they don't say clean longer.
No. And I'm going to have the car actually cleaned.
So this stuff here, they get really upset about. Next road on the right, please.
Yeah, I'm going to have it washed on Wednesday. So I won't have time to actually do it on Thursday. So I'm with Martin for 2 hours and then pretty much going to be home and straight on.
Think about your position as you turn in now when I told you about that as well. We'll go left. And then the first road on the left. And then find a convenient place to pull over on the left. But tell me about the drive here. How was that?
Okay, you gave me a lot to think about.
Okay.
Um,
In terms of thinking about stuff, we'll work our way backwards. When we turned right to come into this area.
Yeah.
Tell me about that junction.
the A-board didn't help, although it's not obscuring the road as such. Well,
No,
it is,
it's
but
a
not
little
necessarily
bit.
the view that you need to see.
Tell me
It's
about
just
the view.
another thing that is in the way kind of thing. It's kind of restricted on both sides because of the bends.
Okay.
So, as I say, I've been there before, so you need to be kind of very aware when you do decide to go.
Okay. When we first arrived, was the route to go?
I didn't feel that there was because there was oncoming
I felt there was.
vehicles, but
Why might there be a disparity there between what we thought?
maybe just because of when I've been there before. Just sort of preconception of it being a difficult
Possibly.
junction.
Possibly. Tell me when you looked to see if you could go.
Probably when I got right up to the end. I think I was expecting to stop.
Yeah. So we can plan to stop, but we expect to go. So there's a big difference. What you're tending to do, I think, is you're planning on going and then ending up stopping. Now, that might sound like it's the same thing, but it really isn't. If you're planning to stop but expecting to be able to go, if the view changes, you look at a different time. I would have gone, but that's because I looked into the road way before you were at the gateway line.
Yeah.
You waited till you got there. So that's planning to stop and then looking for an opportunity to go. So, there, you know what I mean. So if we take a little bit of pace off, just 1 or 2 miles an hour on that last 15, 20 foot, you get a look before you get to the gateway line.
Right.
Bang, could have been straight out from that white car because there was quite a big gap, wasn't it? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So then tell me about, after that we turned right to come into here.
Yeah, so there was the ambulance parked
That was.
on my side of the road, and very near the top end of the junction. So
When
it was
did
a
you
bit
see
awkward.
him?
Before I turned in,
When did it look like you saw him?
probably as I turned, because
Why
it
would
was
I think
more.
that?
Because I think I maybe pulled up not behind him, but did like a swerve around him
So
rather
it looks
than
like you've not seen him.
using the
So it's, again, another couple of miles an hour off on the way and you just think, okay, I'm never going to, going on the other side of the road.
yeah.
Because it's clear. Just 1 or 2 miles an hour is all you need, because the brain is quite quick and it just gives you time to execute a more sophisticated plan because you've allowed yourself the time to think. So on both those occasions, also on the one where we came in to turn left, we'll try it a little bit. It's the tiniest amount of speed off, and it'll radically change the way you drive, the way you're approaching, because it'll look as slick as a shaved cat. But at the minute, it looks like shaved cats are pretty slick. So it just looks different, and it feels different. What you'll probably find is it's not you're driving slowly, because it isn't, but your driving will just smooth out at a crazy rate. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Some food for thought. Just something that's planning. What can you see? What can you not see? What you might reasonably expect. If I'm coming up here and I'm turning left there, I might reasonably expect that there's some cars parked close in. So I'm going to take a little bit of extra pace off before I get to the junction to give myself the chance of a view in there before I turn. But I'm thinking about that the second that I turn left out of that first junction, because I know that's there.
Yeah.
If I didn't know the area, I might expect something here because there's a gap in the houses. There's that white house, then there's a gap. Then I can see there's a tree. There's obviously an open space behind it. There might be vehicles coming off this. Already I'm thinking about that. And I'm planning microscopic adjustments on the throttle rather than use the brake. So, reverse left. He's turned into the first turning on the left.
Yep.
We'll reverse into the second turning on the left. Drive past it and stop. Reverse back around. Let's have a little look. So you're judged on 3 things. This: control, observation and accuracy. So we'll execute the first one and then we'll have a chat about it.
There's those trees.
It's just after the last tree on the left there. Well, sorry, the turning's before you need to stop.
Yes. I'm familiar with this tree and this corner.
It's a belt, isn't it?
I don't know about that. It has a big lump in the road.
It's certainly a challenge. So 3 things we're test it on control observation, aren't you? So tell me about your observation first.
I think the observations were okay. I feel like I'm moving my head a lot and checking all around. Checked before I swung out over this way. What I find I struggle with is this bit.
Okay.
So when I'm looking over there on any manoeuvre, I feel like it sends me.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I benefit, if you see what I mean. I feel like I'm doing it because you have to. And I actually don't benefit from doing that.
Okay, I think I hear what you're saying. So,
and obviously I've come too far.
Sure. So, have a look here. Tell me what you see.
My back end's on the curb.
Okay. Look through the back window. Tell me what you see.
The straight line reference point is way off.
Okay. So in terms of you going backwards, what do we see here? How far up the road can you see?
In the mirror?
Yeah.
Back to where the parked cars are.
Okay.
So that car's just pulled in.
Can you see that side of the road?
In this mirror? No.
Okay, so you look through the back window. What do you see?
The width of the road.
Okay, so in terms of safety, which is the best view?
Well, I guess you'd say that was because you're seeing a bigger view.
So if a child from one of these houses here with a greenery to the right ran onto the road, would you see them there?
Oh no.
So why do you want to look there? Tell me about that.
I don't really know.
Okay. Okay. It's a comfort blanket, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess
you want to judge our position from the curb. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So tell me about your accuracy. Accuracy.
Terrible.
Okay. Okay. So
I think what I feel like is as I come round it starts okay, but I feel like I'm too wide.
Okay.
So I start to come in. But then all of a sudden I come far too much in.
Okay. Okay. So that's when we start looking here to see where we are.
Yeah.
Right. Let's link those two things together. You know what we chatted about on the junction approach? Coming into these places. Does that apply coming backwards into the junction?
I think it applies all the time.
Okay. Would doing this slower bring anything to the game, do you think?
Yeah, because it would. I mean, when I said, "Oh, we've come over the bump," I felt that the car was then kind of taking itself. Whereas if it was slower, I would have been more in control. You know, as I say, if I was pointing towards the curb and it takes itself, it's going to go faster, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rather than being a bit slower and me having the time to.
So you made a couple of adjustments going around there.
Yeah.
Tell me about those adjustments. Did they work?
I think at first it did. As I say, because I felt like I was starting to get that bit wide.
Okay.
So my first adjustment was to come back in. But then once I got to that point, it all went pear-shaped.
Yeah. We run out of time quickly here, don't we?
Yeah.
If I might make a suggestion, you know those points when you're looking around to judge?
Yeah.
Would it help if the car stopped at that point?
Yeah, maybe.
Do you want to try it? See?
Yeah.
I think we get ourselves locked into thinking we need to get on with stuff to, really come on, crack on.
Yeah.
Professional, brisk, business-like.
I think
Make
we're going to get it over and done with, to be honest.
There are 3 key points here. Just before you turn, halfway around, just before you straighten. Stop at those points.
Okay.
And take a proper amount of time and work out what's happening. Then you can have as long a look in here as you want, because you're not moving backwards. Try it and see what happens. Cut the speed in half. Now if it is going to go wrong then, it ain't going to have gone very far before you fix it.
See, that felt too fast.
It was.
And now now I feel like I'm really wide and
Stop.
have to bring that right in.
Okay. And the thing to do is to stop and just think, what's my options here? What do I need to do? Now, while you make the adjustment, your speed needs to be as slow as you possibly can, so that there's no chance for it to get out of hand. So have a little think about what do I need to do, and then when you decide to execute that plan, you want to be travelling at 1/10 of a mile an hour. More faster.
Okay.
That's too fast. Still too fast. While you're making the adjustment, really ridiculously slow. Slow with a car, fast with a hand. And if you feel the need, stop, check if it's working.
So now I'm on full lock.
Okay, so you've stopped again, still haven't got out of hand. What's your options? You can continue to fight, or you take a shot forward. So if you've been checking there, tell me about the woman in the pink co-op.
Yeah, she's.
We'd have hit her now, wouldn't we?
If I went backwards, yeah.
Because she was intent on coming out.
Yeah.
So, do you want to attempt to fix it from here, or do you want to go forward?
Forward, I think.
So that little bit of extra speed that we're on there, it very quickly puts you out there, doesn't it?
Mm.
So, I mean, absolutely at a snail's pace. So it's not about lining things up, and it's not about having reference points and one turn left, two turns right. It's about thinking, hang on, stop. What's my options here? It's too fast. It's still moving, just let it go. This is fine. Whatever happens at this point must be the slowest. As soon as you get that like saw, I'll just pop forward. Step back wide a little there.
Just fold a little bit or back
No,
into.
just let's go back up to the point at the top. So we went a little wide. Just replay that in your mind. Tell me why you think that happened.
I don't feel like I know how much to turn this.
Okay. Is that what made you wide, do you think?
I don't know.
Okay. We went back a little bit. We're moving lovely and slow, and then we had to get over the hump.
Yeah.
Tell me how you did that.
I added more revs to
And then
get
as we
going.
went over the hump, what happened?
I'm guessing I probably kept it up and went too fast.
So what did you do about that? What's your options?
I'm supposed to get over the hump, but then get straight back onto the brake.
Some pretty fancy footwork required there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Would the car do
Is
it without
the-
any gas on, do you think?
Once you got to a certain point, yeah, of that hump.
Do you want to try it with no gas at all? The whole thing?
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen? We embarrass ourselves and we delete the video. So just put your right foot over the brake for the whole of the manoeuvre
Okay.
and see how that works. It won't feel right.
No.
It's still too fast. That's manoeuvre speed. Right foot over the brake. So you can get to it immediately if you need it.
Stopped.
Give it a little bit of touch up then. Get right foot over the brake. The car will take it, I promise you. It will. Just bring it stop there. Tell me about your position now.
Well, again, I feel like I'm swinging out and swinging out too early, to be honest.
So what can you do about that?
My tendency would be to steer back the other way, but I don't feel like I want to do that because I'm also taking the corner now.
Well, should we see how it pans out?
Yeah. Definitely starts to take itself when you get over that bit, doesn't it?
Probably go like this way. You can check here. Must be looking there. You know, no gas at all. Just make it run in a straight line up the road. Just by looking up the road. Trust yourself that you can do it. Okay, no stop there. Still looking back with this now.
Right.
Tell me about that one.
I've just got a car coming up.
Okay, we'll pop back around.
Past. Much better control.
What did the control give you?
Time.
Did you have to make some adjustments there?
Yeah.
Were they the same or different to the adjustments you've made before?
It was less exaggerated, I would say.
The idea.
And
What maybe contribute with that?
Turning this too much, but that's the bit that I can't quite get in my head. How much to turn? So when we did the right turn last week, 2 weeks ago, when I saw Martin last, and we did the right hand corner, he said I was turning it too much. But then I found when I've gone out on my own that just that tiny little turn, I don't know, I seem to be again massively wide.
Well, what tends to happen is if you've got a little bit too much speed on, you put a little turn on, it doesn't seem to have an effect for a second, and then bang,
And
you're
then it
out.
exaggerates.
If the speed is really slow, there's less chance of it getting away from you.
Right.
Now, we've just done that on an extremely tight corner, one that's quite difficult. If I was to ask you again about control, observation, accuracy, tell me about that.
I think my observations were still okay. Control was definitely better.
Okay.
Accuracy better.
Okay.
Not fantastic, but better.
Okay. What would make it better again?
I don't really know. Practice.
Okay. And while you were practicing, what would you be practicing?
Not touching my accelerator.
Okay. The next turning on the left is more of a normal one.
Okay.
Do you want to try that one?
Yep.
And again, as you drive past, take a little bit of pace off and work out what you've got. So nicely tucked in there. Nice.
Yep.
Okay. Is that the right place to be for you, do you think?
This is where I would like to be able to do it, if you see what I mean.
Right. Go
Maybe
on,
I'm
then.
a bit closer than I normally would.
What would being a little bit further out give you? What would you gain from that?
Just that bit of that leeway, because it's really tight, so if I turn that just a smidgen too much, I'm going to be into the curb, so it gives you just that little bit of, yeah.
Okay. On you go when you're ready. it's a little bit of an awkward one.
And we're downhill now, aren't we?
Stop there. Do you know the effect we were chatting about before where nothing seems to happen and it happens quickly?
Yeah.
That's exaggerated in this
Yeah.
one. At the back, it's not quite as exaggerated. So it's just a case of working out, am I going in, am I going out?
Yeah.
A quick glance here to see where you are, but there for the adjustment. And then at each time when you want to check, stop. Every time when you want to look around, stop. Do you want to try that starting a little bit wider?
Yeah.
See what that does.
Knocked that down, but I'm still running.
I'm always warm. It's because I'm from the
Well, it's
frozen
climate
north.
control. If you want to knock that down, it's zoned, so you've got
So
your own.
I'll take it down to 12 if it'll go.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I'm only kidding.
It'll go.
Normally 16's the lowest.
Yeah.
It's 18 at work.
16's the legal, isn't it, for a work environment?
Suppose it was at 62 degrees Fahrenheit.
I always used to complain where I used to work that is ridiculously cold.
It's just right for me.
Yeah, I'm a
So
girl.
this gives you a bit of a margin for error. So let's see how that works.
Gonna be a while, mate. Thanks and all that, but
You don't let it hurry you. He's quite happy now.
And now I'm in the middle of the road.
Okay.
But I've lined up my reference point at the back.
Okay. Tell me how you're judging when to turn into the road.
This is what I don't really know.
Okay. So you just want to go left and go past the next turning on the left.
I've been using the reference point, like the DVD shows you, but I can't always really see that. That's why I jacked my seat up.
Okay.
This is a bit cheeky because it's to
Dead
begin
quiet,
with,
though,
isn't
dead
it?
quiet. So, just for the purposes of this exercise, I want to just try this and see how it works. We're going to forget the reference point.
Yeah.
I want you to turn when you think it's about right to turn. When you just think, okay, I think this is about right.
Okay.
That's all. Just when you think it's right, and just before we move, I want you to do it without having it.
Okay. You're mean.
I want you to just trust your own judgment. Just as you do when you're going forwards. Just turn when you think you should turn. It looks like you're going to hit anything, I'll say so. Dead slow though. Really, really slow. Can you just stop there? Tell me how this feels.
Okay, but I did turn at the point where it fell into the reference point.
Okay.
I don't know that I felt that was when it was
That's
good
fine.
to go, but
That's
I did
fine.
see that it was there, so
Okay.
kind of went with that. Now, what I don't know is, when I get to this kind of point, do I turn more? Or have I turned enough? Or does it depend on the corner?
Have a look through the back window. It's going to be a good feeling. Let's Let's see what happens.
Got feelings what's been getting it wrong.
No, I don't think it is, you know.
So here, I feel like I need to turn more.
Do whatever you think.
But then, I'm overcorrecting quickly.
Just look through the back. Move dead slow. Fast with the hands, slow with the feet. A bit slower than that. So now you can gauge whether it's working or not. Just bring us to a stop now. How do you think this is in terms of accuracy?
It feels like it's better without seeing into that mirror. It all feels better. Still a long way off.
Not a long way off. You want to be here. You're about there.
Right.
So you're probably 6 inches adrift.
So if I'd have had that mirror, maybe I would have just seen that. Because I would have travelled further back, obviously, wouldn't I?
You know the bit where you said, I'm not... Can't reach the door. Right. I'm not sure if I should turn more or not.
Yeah.
Can we pop back around and this time just trust your instincts. Just do what you think you need to do. If it goes wrong, what's the worst that could happen? Nobody will die.
Don't say that. Be tempting fate.
So just look backwards and just make the car go where you think it needs to go. No reference points, none of that nonsense. Just look into the road and drive the car around it, but very, very slowly. Go where you got to do what you think you need to do. Okay, just come to a stop there. So where are you looking when we're coming back around the corner?
Out of this window, trying to keep the curb in view.
Do me a favour, look out the back window. What the forward again?
Masseuse is going to have loads to work on tonight, isn't she? All this twisting.
Twisting. Should I add some music? Should we check her and all that? That's what he said.
I used to think that was Elvis when I was little. My brother and sister laughed at me. So I don't have music for this one night. I know this one.
So as much of the time as you can, try and look out the back window. Searching the side window for the answer. The answer's not there, it's inside of you. How's that?
Okay, still feel a bit far away.
Little bit. So pop back around, do exactly what you've already done. Just do it a little bit earlier than you did before. While you're practicing. If you're too early, what's the worst thing that can happen? Just bring it to a stop now. If you were driving out of this junction, how much steering would you put on?
Quite a lot.
As we're driving back into the junction, how much steering you put on?
Not as much.
Pop forward. So we've gone past, we can see it's fairly tight. And because we're going to kill the speed, just whack some steering. If you've got too much steering on, what's going to happen?
You'd hit the curve, you know.
You'd be getting closer to the curve. We can gauge that. And if it is doing that, we can take some off. And And all this searching for methodology, I think our instinct gets lost. You would never second guess yourself coming out.
No.
We'll whack it on, all of it.
That feels like I'm gonna.
Nope, not
hit
going
the
on.
curb.
No, definitely not. Now then, have a look.
Right.
So now make the adjustment.
Yeah.
And look how snug you are here. So you can now feel that you're maybe coming in a little close.
Yeah.
Move back really slow, take a turn off, see what happens. Stop there. No, only one turn off, you've got to turn
Okay.
off. So put some on, check what happens. Make an adjustment, check what happens. And then looking through the back window should give you the best guide as to where you need to be.
My head's totally confused now.
Look through the back window,
Doesn't
give
want
yourself a moment, and then
Back
take the
end
car
to
back.
come in.
That's it. Again, much slower. Loads slower than this, looking backwards. That will keep you straight. Tell me about that one.
I would never have gone full lock. Partly because Martin tells me that I tend to be over dramatic with my steering.
Okay.
But as you said, it brought us tighter in. So then that adjustment is just getting that speed right to
Well, Martin's
come
right,
sort of
yeah.
back out.
When you're making the small adjustments, you're telling it, just
Yeah.
put a bit on, see what happens. But coming in, if you were driving out here, you just whack it straight on full lock, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's the same coming back. It's all about. I think you've got caught up in trying to work it out mathematically. Just do what you would normally do. You're perfectly good and adequate driving forwards. Why not trust yourself going backwards? Have you done much straight line reversing? You just go at the end of the road and turn right. Sorry, left. Right, what am I talking about?
Just trying to keep me on my toes, obviously.
So left at the end of the road. And then we go under the bridge. Park up somewhere along here on the left. Take it down further. It's the second lamppost after the bridge. And then park about a foot from the curb.
Like an instructor's dream, around here.
Oh, absolutely. I love it here. So let's have a little play with that, going backwards.
Okay.
Adjusting in and out, and working out how much it is. Then, by all means, have a little check in the mirror, but just keep looking backwards and just get the car to go where you want it to go. So taking it in and out, varying amounts. Take us away from the curb. Again, looking through the back window. It's a bit slower. You're never going to be successful at manoeuvres at that speed. It's just not going to happen.
I know.
This is as fast as you want to be. That's a little too fast. That's manoeuvring speed. So have a play around with it. Nothing to see here. So looking backwards. So take us away from the curb a little bit. And then bring us back in towards the curb. And just play around with it. Make the car do what you want it to do. A bit slower.
I think what I struggle with is being in that position.
Well, have you considered scooting around a little bit?
Actually,
Yeah.
like, I know you can take this off for doing a reverse manoeuvre, can't you?
The thing is, if you
I
push
think
it,
if I did that, I would start to do this as well.
that's fine. I don't mind, that's nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean as in I would turn it. You know, when I want to be straight.
Sure. Well, if you push your left foot down on the clutch fully and then twist around with the seat, it's a
Right,
better view.
so. I can't lift myself up. That's still painful.
Okay. I mean, I have neck issues, so when I'm reversing, I have to do that.
Right.
But this is where not needing the gas as a help, because I can just do it on the clutch.
Yeah.
So.
But can you can push your clutch down in that position?
Yeah.
Really? I'm gonna try that just to. That's weird. I'd have to kind of do that and just, do you know what I mean?
Take the seat back down to where it was.
Yeah. I had to take all my headrests out the back
I was
to
going
be
to ask
able
you
to
about that, whether
see.
you'd lost them or.
No, I've had to take them out because I couldn't see.
Okay.
It was completely blocked. Well, you know, when I started doing these manoeuvres,
Sure.
I was like, well, I can't see what they're telling me to look for. So I've taken everything out, jacked this up so that I had a view. Things like the Bay Park, it tells you to look for the mark in that window of the space you want. Can't see it.
Good. We'll work on
So
that
that
in a
one
bit.
didn't work for me at all.
Again, you see, we're looking for a methodology, a magic bullet,
Yeah.
a secret formula. There isn't one. Just work out what's happening and what you need to do. You're smart enough to work it out. Trust me on this.
Really?
So it's a little
Right,
reverse
well,
back again. Come on, play around, get yourself so you get a good view. But the view is not along your window line here. See where that guy is up there?
Yeah.
Just look there. And just take it away from the curb a little bit. Keep looking up there. Just take it back a bit. Take it away a bit. Take it back a bit. Come on, start there. So there's nothing to see here.
Mm.
So how did that work?
It was okay. It still feels a bit weird
Oh, well, it will be.
like this, but I've never done it before like that.
But you
This
just
twisted.
you just
so.
moved it in and out a couple of times and
Yeah.
made the adjustments. Looking up there. And what tends to happen is when you're looking that far ahead, the adjustment you make is quite small.
Right.
And you wait and see what happens, same as you would do going forward.
Yeah.
When you start looking here, the steering's got to be on for a fair bit before it reacts, and then it's
Yeah.
like bang, and it's cack, I'm on the curb.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Try a bit more. In fact, I tell you what, if we just reverse back to that corner and reverse around it.
So,
There wasn't anybody in the corner as we were there, and there's nobody come up behind us, and we should be very safe. Never play with it on the way back, and then when you get there, just go with your gut feeling and just reverse it around, and keep yourself reasonably close to the curb. And just making your eyes go as far up the piece of road that you're driving along as you possibly can. And then just judging it.
so even though there's no straight line at the minute
No.
because we're on curves round,
But you still
but
know
I'm
where the
still
curve
just
is.
looking back in a straight line down that path.
And just looking into the road you want to go along. So now start looking into the road and just drive around it like you would do going forward. Just try it and see what happens. Just eyes it in the road. You don't need to. Well, you do know where it is in reality. Do it again real slow. Again, just looking into the road you're going into. Just drive it along, keeping it reasonably close to the curb.
Steering the wrong way. That's what my brain doesn't get when I'm going backwards.
Just stop until you work it out. Now the key thing is, look backwards, wait a moment for your brain to adjust, because left brain, right brain, all that nonsense. Just look down the road and drive it down along there in the straight line.
Let me just hit the curb or have we hit something else? Slopes round here, innit?
So tell me about that.
It was okay until we hit that bump, because I still can't actually see the bump in the road. So, you know, like you check down the road when you come past, don't you? You know, if there was a grate or something, so you'd know that's what it was. So that freaked me out a bit.
Looking out of the window
What?
there, how close to the curb would you say we were?
Fairly close. As in good close, not bad close. Yeah.
So there's nothing to see in the window here, or with a line your wiper blade up, do this or do that, do that. It's just do what you would normally do. If you drove up this road now, you wouldn't think about how much steering you were putting on, would you?
No.
You wouldn't think about how close I was to the curb. You just drive the car around the corner.
And I did put a lot more on than I have been doing. It's just weird that I can't.
Well, the key thing is
like,
you
see.
just judge it. Just judge it. It's as simple as that. And trust your judgment. See if that helps. If it does, great. If it doesn't, well, let's have a play with something else. Now, obviously, these are awkward corners that we brought you to.
But I might get an awkward corner.
You might, but they're good practice. You get a simple one, then it's a piece of cake. The only thing I would say that I might think about doing different is slower, even slower. So just looking back there now, tell me where you think you are in terms of when you should or shouldn't turn.
I think I've just gone a smidgen too far back, to be honest.
Okay, so what's your options at this point?
I don't. Are you allowed to pull forward again?
Just let's do it and see what happens. It's better if you do it in one, but which is better? Taking a little nudge forward and getting it right, or fighting with it? So they're just going a little bit past and they're picking up a little bit of a speed, I think, coincided. So whatever happens, keep the speed under control.
You see, I'm not putting full lock on there because it feels like I'm heading.
It's okay, just make the adjustments, you feel are necessary. Now at this point I would stop, do your observations, but also take the opportunity and think, okay, where am I? What do I need to do? So this is a perfect time to do that. You've got a proper look rather than a glance. And then once you decide what you're going to do, just move backwards and execute your plan.
Weird that when you covered that up, I did a better one than when I could see in there. But it's still that point of turn and how much turn that I'm not sure of.
Okay. So, how can we judge the point of turn better? Or I'm resistant to use or reluctant to use the word better. What could we do to help with that? Looking at this didn't seem to help, but it might. Can I suggest that as you're coming to the point where you think, well, we're nearly there, slow down or even stop, then you can have a check in there. Because obviously if you can get that wheel sort of where the first curve is, that's your point of turn. But we don't want to be staring in there, so just bring it back, kill the speed completely, or slow it down even more, so you've got time to make sure that you hit the point. One of them go?
Okay.
Not overheat or anything? No.
Not yet.
Just have to check. But it is just using good judgment, like you've just done coming around. You haven't thought about how much steering you're going to use.
I also don't know how much steering I used.
That's good. Well, you do, but you're just not thinking about it. It's happening in your subconscious. What we're trying to do here is drag everything into our conscious mind, and then things get messy. If you just trust yourself, it will happen more or less right.
So I'm thinking it's about there.
Take the opportunity now to have a look there, and you can see that you are next to the first curve. So you're about right. It's okay to use this for a check. again, as you do your observations, stop, double check, is my plan working? And if it isn't, make an adjustment. If it is, give yourself a pat on the back. Tell me about that one.
That was okay. It felt more that like I was working on instinct.
I think that's important. So tell me about, mark yourself out of 10, control, observation and accuracy. Control first. Where 1 is absolutely piles and 10's the best you could do.
I think it's definitely getting better now that I'm not using the gas.
Okay.
But because I'm only just starting to do it that way, there's room for improvement.
Okay.
So
what would improve it?
Well, again, just practice, I think.
Okay. How will you practice that?
Finding lots of corners.
Do you need to be going around
Or
the
even,
corner?
well, no, straight, even going straight, yeah.
Take the strip off your neck a bit for me. You can even practice that going in a straight line, can't you?
Yeah.
Find a little hill.
It's just getting used to that. That
Okay,
technique,
so
isn't it?
the other bits that we're looking at, observation, how would you say that was, 1 to 10?
Yeah, I still think my observations were good.
Cool. And what about accuracy?
I'd put it all at about a 7, I think.
Okay, well what would make this an 8?
I'd still like to be that bit closer to the curb,
Okay.
really.
Okay, a little bit. How will we do that?
It's that point of where I feel like I'm heading towards the curb and so I'm starting to come back out. So maybe I just need to trust that I can go a bit further before or maybe not take as much off.
Yeah, even leaving it on.
And again,
not taking so much off.
that speed again, because we've got that slight.
We have. It's a tricky one, this one, because just as you're coming to straighten the steering up, the speed picks up.
Yeah.
Which is why.
So then everything goes. Whoa.
So if you've not got all the component parts right here, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay. So compare this one to the earlier ones.
Yeah, I think it's better than most of them.
So if I was to say it
Because we did the whole thing as well. We didn't stop and talk about anything on the way, so...
Yeah. So if I was to say to you, if we did another one, what would be your plan?
Try and go even slower.
Yeah.
And especially when we get to that point. As we turn, that's when it starts to drop, isn't it? So just trying to get that under control.
Right. And then you say...
And that, I think that speed and control will then buy me the time to, instead of... you know, panicking and moving away and...
Should we try that and see if it works? The proof of the pudding, as they say, is in the eating.
I like pudding better than reverse.
Excellent. Well, clearly,
I'll
steal it and use it as my own. me the story of that one.
Okay, so I think I'm a bit closer, but I don't feel like I'm straight when I look at out the back. I'm not sure that I'm straight. I feel straight.
If you have a look at the side of the car, and it's a straight line, isn't it? It's an odd shape, this one. So we're not at 90 degrees.
No.
We're just slightly less. So control, observation, accuracy. So you rated them 7s before. Tell me about them this time.
How do I improve on that? I would maybe hold my observations at 7, because I think at the minute I'm focusing on I'm doing them. I know I'm doing them. I don't know if I'm doing them to the degree that they want you to do them. I think in the past my observation has been better than the other two, whereas now I'm starting to feel like the other two are getting there. But I don't know if I've improved the observation, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, that's fine. That's good. So what do we learn from that? What's the take-home message from that? Slow, slow, slow. So, is that something? Okay, we'll leave the observation to one side and say that that's, you're saying that that's something you might want to look into. Control and accuracy.
I think the control was good. I felt a lot more in control there, so I'm getting used to, like, I mean, I don't even think about the accelerator. And also, as we got round, I was on the brake and keeping that speed down instead of letting it run away. Accuracy, it wasn't bad. It was okay.
Okay, if you're looking to have something different from an accuracy point of view this time, what would it be?
I would like to not have to do the correction, really. I'd like to try and, just feel like I've turned it the right amount, and now I'm just going to straighten up and glide back.
Okay, a little exercise to try before we do it. Close your eyes if it helps. Nothing dodgy that. Just run through the manoeuvre happening in your mind, step by step, and I want you to visualise yourself doing it. Bang on, 100% right.
Okay.
So just take a moment to run that through your mind. Just imagine what that would look like, what that would feel like. And then once you've done that, go backwards and just do that. Okay.
It's not what I visualised.
What did you visualise?
That I just did it and knew how to do it.
Right. So tell me what just happened differs from that.
I still did the I'm heading towards it, I need to come out thing. Not as exaggerated as on previous ones.
I mean, I'm just curious.
I would score that as a good one. I'm not saying it was bad.
So how did it differ? Tell me a bit about the detail. How did it differ from your visualisation?
Well, in my visualisation, I'm perfect.
Okay. So what stops this from being perfect? Just go through. Okay. Think about what you've just done. Compare it to what you visualised. And note the differences. You have to tell me what they are.
Well, it's the turn again. It's that turn, getting the turn so that it's just right to kind of follow it.
All I can tell you is what it looks like from here. I don't know how it works in your head or how it's feeling for you. It looks to me like you thought about turning earlier but changed your mind.
Right.
You looked like you were shaping to move and then, no, you waited a little bit and then
Okay.
turned.
I don't know if I did that, to be honest. So.
It's about trusting yourself. Now, the reason I'm basing that is because you looked like you were shaping to move and then it didn't for a little bit and then you moved. You know, you had a little check around. One more?
So maybe
go with your gut feeling.
Maybe if I did that, I've then, in my head, had to correct the fact that I didn't turn when I was going to.
Maybe.
And started to come.
It's hard to say. I'm happy with what you've done there, by the way.
Right.
That's a smashing reverse. If you're looking for sheer perfection, that's the only. It's just at this point here, as you're going backwards, you just seem to just not second guess yourself, but it's just that there's that little.
Okay.
Just do it. What's the worst that can happen? There's nobody on the path. We're not going to kill anybody. No, we're not intending to kill anybody. So just put complete faith in yourself about this point of turn. Don't look for a reference point. Just. Okay, so there seemed to be an absence of adjustment at the end.
Yeah.
So you followed that in one sweeping line.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I don't really know how I did it.
That's good. Do you feel you could do it again?
I don't know. We could try.
You want to test it?
Yeah.
So what we've done there systematically really is remove all these reference points, all the other bits and pieces, and you've just gone with, well, I think this will work. And then you've got the option of saying, did it? And if it didn't, you've got time to adjust.
So if it was to bring me to this corner,
Yeah.
so we're going to be in Chesterfield.
I'm going to test it once on this corner and then once on another. It's the kind of plug I am. Really? What's that?
I'm happy with the distance away that I've ended up.
Well, you'd be difficult not to be, wouldn't you, really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I felt like I did a bit of a...
I didn't notice much adjustment going on.
Was it not?
Do you feel like you had to adjust?
No, maybe not. I mean, I wasn't like careering towards the curb and having to pull it out or anything like that.
So let's do the...
I think the adjustment now maybe is me getting into the position rather than correcting, if you see what I mean.
And if there are any adjustments, they're very smooth and they're very minute.
Yeah, they are. I'm
Before
doing
it was
small.
lock to lock, really.
Yeah.
So some things to mark 1 to 10. 1 is the worst it could be, and 10 is pretty much as happy with that. That's the best I could do, given the circumstances on this day and this moment.
Yeah.
4 things. Control, observation and accuracy we'll do first. Control?
Yeah, I think the control was good. I would put that up at the top end somewhere.
Very good. Observation?
Yeah, I'm still checking everywhere and I'm looking back and I should be looking back.
Accuracy?
Yeah, I think that's definitely improved over this morning.
And anxiety?
Well, that's a factor that's going to do that anyway, isn't it?
It is.
And especially on the day.
Measure it an hour ago and now.
Oh yeah, my anxiety levels definitely.
What's contributing to that?
But like you say, because it's just having the confidence to trust you and the vehicle and having that control, buying yourself that time with the slower speed and everything.
So the reference points are now inside of you,
Yeah.
not on the car.
Yeah.
So those reference points transfer to every car you'll ever drive because you're just judging where you need to be.
Yeah.
You're working out where the corners of the car are. And one of the big things I always say, my other half always laughs, if you don't know how big it is, you shouldn't be driving it. People don't know where the corners of the car are.
Yeah.
And because we get trained on these reference points things, you get into a big car and it's like, oh my god, that doesn't work. But if you've got your own internal references, it'll work out that corner's about there. You know, as you come into that corner, there's a point where you can't see the curb anymore.
Yeah.
But you know where it is.
Yeah.
You can make an educated guess. If we transfer all of what we've done there to the right reverse, is there anything different that you need than what we've done there?
No, the right hand one, it confused me to begin with why I need to look that way, but that is only kind of as you set off going backwards, isn't it?
You need to be 100% sure at all times that you're not going to run somebody over.
Yeah. But then I guess once you turn over to this side, like you said, it's just guiding the car around.
Do you want to pop around the
Yeah.
corner and we'll reverse back into the right? See how that pans out for us.
Meet
The people in
Darren
this-
with his student down there.
He'd be the turn of the road, I would have thought. Now again, a non-standard corner,
Yeah.
but they're good to test ourselves on because then the standard ones are dead easy.
To be honest, there, but difficult to not be on it.
And that'll do us that way. Normally you go further back.
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
That felt alright. Putting those principles into effect there, I felt better about it. I wasn't thinking too much about I've turned it a quarter turn or anything like that. And
But the problem we're having these things, and there's nothing wrong with them, one turn, this turn, quarter turn, there's nothing wrong with that, but under the pressure of an exam, we can sometimes forget.
yeah, it's a lot to think about.
It is.
If it's not an instinctual.
Yeah, so if it's
thing.
instinct, that never leaves you. You never lose your instincts. Okay, so what do you want to do with those now? You happy with those? Happy to go away and practice different corners?
Yeah.
And have a look at the Bear Park?
Yeah.
We'll go right at the end of the road. Just at a, tell you what, sorry. What I'd like you to do is to make the car pull away and then stop again at the end of the road with no gas on.
Okay.
No gas.
Oh, no gas, the
No
whole
gas
thing.
at all,
Okay.
This is a fairly steep hill, isn't it?
Yeah.
And just bring it to a stop with no gas on. Just find that balancing point. And then we'll move off here, we'll follow the road ahead, no gas, get the car going, and then we'll take, once you get a bit of momentum, we'll take second gear, no gas, let the speed build up, take third, no gas,
It's a very strange way to drive in a car.
and then just feed the gas on and off you go. So what do you need the gas for? We have an over-reliance on it sometimes. I'm not saying don't use that, just illustrate the point. Once we get round the corner, if you can find a convenient place to pull up on the left. Just in front of this car will be fine. You can roll it all the way because we're going to reverse back a little bit. I mean, don't hit it or anything. And then just reverse it back a little bit. No gas. Just micromanage the speed. So that'll do what you need it to do.
Yeah.
Just wanted to demonstrate that to you so you
No,
can go,
I
all
like
right,
that.
okay. Left at the end of the road. And we don't want to get you to do these things, you know, too much without the gas, because they're driving the essential skills are left at the end. When you're pulling away, you should set the gas and find the manual. The reality is you don't need it. But we don't want to be going against the advice in the driving manual.
Instructor there.
How was your reverse parking? Happy with that one?
Yeah, again, it's working more times than it's not, but it is using a reference point of my handle going up over the curb.
Go left at the end of the road.
If we get a chance to have a look, I would like to.
Of course. Not a problem at all. Nice. A lot of planning on the way in. Follow the road around the left and then we'll take the first exit from this road. Again, use the slip road if you've got the opportunity. So get up the speed on here. I mean, if you need to get out quickly, fine, but dropping in this way, you've got all this option of taking your time and making sure you get it right. Yes, you have to waste it. Next exit from this road. There's just an element, I feel, that we're still setting up for junctions and corners as we enter them. If you can think about getting it all set up before you get there, sometimes you can't. Like here, we're going to be doing our observations now. There is a gap after the silver car, bang off you go, car stays running all the time, you don't lose momentum. And you can slingshot into a gap. And it's just the tiniest change from what you're doing. It just opens up options for you. I'm having that gap, bang. And it shows a level of polish in your driving that's irresistible from this seat. You just look at it and think, that was pretty slick. Or not. So as this new view opens up, tell me about your plan.
Well, there's oncoming traffic, and obviously there's vehicles in front of me, and there's turnings off to the left. There's anything coming out of there as I'm approaching them. There's a bus stop, there's nobody there waiting.
So again, the larger
Got a
vehicle there
bend.
could have had somebody behind them, and they did, in fact. That might be thinking about overtaking them, so that's what you might reasonably expect, but it's also one of the things you can't see. So here we can see what the cars, we can't see into the driveways. Oh, damn, a brake light activity,
Brake
that tells
light,
you something. Is there somebody coming out that side? No, he was turning off. The brake light activity alerts you to something. No, he's not slowing down.
Even though I didn't indicate.
Is he coming back out? be able to time it to get angry. So we'll turn into this car park on the right. And
where the blue car's gone.
that's the one. Follow that car and pick a bit and reverse into it. Find the ones over that side have a bit more paint on the ground, but these will do.
Okay.
I'll let you choose the bit. These ones on this side aren't too bad. They're not brilliant.
Who knows what I'll get when I actually do it.
And the key thing is to just take your time at this point, work out what you need to do, formulate a plan, and execute it.
My plan is
To get it right.
the parking. Too late. Straddled. Too there.
We're not bad though, are we? We're not bad.
Let me know where this side is.
Line up pretty much with those ones. So, if we're going to do that again, what would you do different?
Turn sooner.
Okay. Let's just do that then. Again, no reference points. Judgment only. So just steer sooner than you did before. Let's see what happens. Again, I'd get rid of some speed. That's more like it. Much easier to get it right at this speed.
So it feels like we're massively over this way this time. But that's a different parking spot, isn't
No,
it?
I think you're about the same. Maybe a teeny bit more. Okay. Just pause for a moment. Before you have another one, just replay in your head what happened, where you were at.
Well, I don't actually know which bay I'm going for. At the moment, I'm just turning and hoping
If
that
we were
I'm
going
gonna
for
hit
this
one.
bit here, it's not bad. If you're going for that one, it's appalling.
I don't know, because when I'm up there, I can't see them.
That's fine. Are we having fun? So
So when I'm here and straight,
we had a little bit of extra speed there, didn't we?
yeah,
And it's just at the point where you're looking for the point of turn, where you're looking to think, should I turn now? That's your slowest point.
yeah.
Not that much. Again.
So from this position,
Mm-hmm.
should I be attempting to get into, I can't see what we've got, that third one there, called this
one
number
being
one.
Yeah, that'll work.
Where's he going?
Yeah, absolutely at a snail's pace there. And then if you just look into the bay you want to go into, your eyes will take you in.
You should-
Absolutely. Just trust yourself. So how does this feel at this point?
Okay, I'm wondering what this, oh, you picked a
Gotta be kidding.
brilliant spot. Really?
Who does that?
An old woman. Now you see, I'm too far over again.
Well, just make the adjustments you think are necessary. I'm not so sure that you're as far over as you think.
I look like I'm miles off the other side and I'm straddling over onto this one again.
So you judge yourself there. You're probably about a foot, maybe a foot and a half too far that way. But it's moved further along, hasn't it? So try another one. Again, it's you might want to shuffle along. The one you get to do will have better paint on the road than this.
And do you pick the spot?
He'll say, I want you to reverse into one of these bays, or he'll say, there might
But
only
it
be one.
won't say that one.
No. Depends on whether they've got the bays on the test center or not.
They have, but they're the wrong way. Paul told me that he parked up to go for his test, and the guy didn't make him do a beer park on the test because he'd seen him. But when I got there, so right, so I've turned too soon this
I
time.
don't think you have. Or if you have, It's not by much.
I'm on the line on your side.
You're just inside the line, so that will be fine. So, what we want is one in between.
Yes. However, I'm still not actually selecting one to hit.
Okay.
I'm just randomly turning the wheel and seeing where I end up.
No, that would never work.
No, I am. Honestly, I haven't chosen a bay.
Okay. In that case, see that one that's got the tarmac over it? So if you got the one with the little post in it, is number 1.
Yeah.
2,
3 with the.
So we'll go into that one.
Yeah, so he didn't have to do it on his test. But then when I pulled up yesterday, the way that you have to go into the car park, the bays are on your right.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what he did.
Guarantee it. If you're the only car in the car park, you park in a bay, the next car will come and park next to you.
Right, so I didn't turn soon enough.
Okay. At what point did you work that out? What point were you thinking? Well, again, we're not far off. We're not far. Again, we're a little bit quick, aren't we?
Yeah.
So any adjustments you make with the steering, you've moved a long way before they take effect. Cut the speed in half.
But once you've got your full lock on, there is no adjustment.
Well, that's right. That's why it's so
steering,
important that it's moving slow.
So
To let that steering have the effect. If you're moving quick, you're covering too much ground.
yeah, and I hadn't realised that we were going to set off on a downward on this one at first. But as we are here, anywhere along here,
Right.
I can't see the bay. Should I be able to see the bay?
No, you still know where it is though.
But I don't know where it is in terms of when I'm going to turn my wheel.
Okay. So it's a bit of educated guesswork. So as we're not helped here, are we? Do you want to tell you what? Let's go forward and use one of these bays up here where you can see more of the paint. Because although you can't see the front of the bay, you can see the back. But these are so worn out, you can't. We could use the car park at the other side where they're all new, but they chase us away from there. So the ones up towards the end should be a little better. They're still not brilliant, but
These ones?
okay. So as you look back towards the bays, you can't necessarily see the front of the bay, but you can see the back.
Yeah.
So just imagine it as though it's a road that you're reversing over.
So from this position, I should be able to hit number 3 again.
Yep.
This being number 1.
Yep. Slow with the feet, fast with the hands. Just as though you were reversing it. Except it's obviously a really tight reverse. When you're ready.
It looks okay at the moment.
It's pretty much bang on to me.
Yeah, I'm in it. I am a bit close on this side. I'm not centred.
These are.
That looks good at that side, but then this side, my tyre is on the line at the back.
You're a
because
tight.
Am I a
that's fine.
smidgen?
You're the tiniest bit that way, and you're a little bit over.
Yeah.
But this is acceptable.
Right.
This is fine. You're between the lines. You're more or less straight. Control observation accuracy. So what was different there?
I treated it like you said as though I was turning into a road.
Okay, do you want to go forward and reverse into one of these? But again, the key thing
So it
is
was
the
that
speed.
tight.
Yep.
Yeah.
But again, we can look for all sorts of things to help us in getting our own way. Just go be your best guess, and then take the time and work out whether it's working or not.
I must have been closer to them this time because I couldn't actually see the back of the base. So no, that seems.
Now, if you get to this point and you're getting that, like, what's your options?
Pull forward.
Go on then. Good luck. Just good drivers on a bad day.
Instead of just straightening up, I would say I need to go a bit over
Okay.
and then take it back.
Okay.
But I'm going to run out of space behind to be able to straighten.
You've still got a bit, there's still a bit of room there, isn't there? And from where you are, you're not going to need much space to get straight. Where are you in the bay?
I'm in it,
How central are you?
not far off at all. It's the best one we've ended up in,
You got to do a lot of work
but yeah,
there.
it
Reference points.
it was messy.
Judgment. All that matters is you end up straight, reasonably accurate, under control, the right observation. So that would be a hit. That was fine. If I'm honest, I don't think you were far off this on your first attempt.
Right.
You just second guessed yourself. Try another one.
I don't know whether that was because I hadn't seen the back of it very well when we set off, so maybe I had a lack of confidence.
I mean, it is difficult when they're this worn out.
Yeah.
It is very tricky, but it is what it is. Those ones are lovely over there, but they come out and go, could you go somewhere else? We'll try another one?
Yeah.
So, does this feel different to what you were doing before?
Yeah, because I've been trying to find that point along here, and I remember originally thinking, I really hope it's in line with that smudge that's on my door. And then, it seems to move. The reference point seems to move, so a reference point doesn't work if it's not.
Well, it's because
gonna
you
be
move
constant.
You turn a different amount, so if you're just using your own judgment, it's got to be better.
Yeah.
Try another one.
Where would you like to go?
Any way you like. You choose.
I'm going to go for these ones again, I think. Where are you going with your pillows?
£1,000 says he goes behind you, even though your reverse lights are on. There you go. We in?
We're in.
Are we straight?
We're straight.
Are we under control?
We were under control.
Right level of observation? Were you aware of what was around you all the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still not where I'd like to be.
Where would you like to be?
Off this line.
Look, you're still inside the bay.
I know.
Yeah, okay. You're probably
However,
that far from being as accurate as you want.
If there'd been a car parked there, I would have hit him as I came in.
Oh, right. No, because the back end came in and the front came out a little that way, and then you adjusted. So I'm not too sure you would have done it. No, you were pretty close. So what's the plan with this one?
I need to be
give you what you want.
turning even sooner, based on sort of a 1, 2, 3 scenario, if you like. You know, of that been in that position to hit that bay. Pretty much turning straight away rather than doing any reverse first.
Okay. Try that. See how it works. So what I do is I take it back to the point where you're happy and do what you've done there and stop. Now you're ready to go. Now you're ready to set up the way you were going to do it in the first place. If that makes sense.
No, I think I've completely lost where I'm starting from and what I'm doing there.
Okay.
That's the one I want. I can see the back of it.
Ooh.
Regardless.
Sorry, it's all over.
Regardless of what number it is.
Spurious grease reference.
Can't be a bit of grease. The film.
Yes. I knew what you meant.
That was better. We're straight, we're in, we're more centred. But I didn't really look out the back, and it's one thing that Martin said you should really be looking out
You
the
do
back.
need to have most of your observation to the rear.
Yeah.
So, if you wanted to
And
add
I
in...
think I'm doing what I refer to as a real life drive, where you use your mirrors a lot because I can see the lines, and that's what's guiding me in.
Okay, so how can you get a combination of the two?
I suppose when you're doing that, you can glance in there quite easily,
So,
using that one as a guide. And obviously you do still need to check around here as well, so you get a glance in that one.
So how would stopping more fit in that? Would that give you the best
That
of both
gives you
worlds?
the chance to look all round.
So we've nailed this from a point of accuracy. We're in there, we're not worried about reference points, you're just saying that you've done it. So, in order to give you the ability to look back more, just keep stopping regularly, just check it. And then you've got your gauge.
Yeah.
We'll try that, see?
Yeah. I think she's doing the same thing.
She is.
She's already parked once.
Yes, the L plates are the giveaway. We're out with mum and dad, I think. Good for her. You're never going to get marked down for taking too long over this. Never. That's the speed.
Right, I have turned him.
Only a little, and it's recoverable though, isn't it?